That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to...
Welcome to Design to the Point, an abbreviated series of design discussions surrounding a watch. And the watch today is the Oris 65 Diver. Possibly one of the quirkiest dive watches on the market today, and damn does it look cool. Starting with the case, it is sleek and extremely thin. It has to have one of the lowest dive watch profiles available, and the case is so thin that the crown diameter actually takes up a larger area, which is so refreshing to see. The lugs are brushed on top and are splayed outwards in typical vintage dressy diver fashion. Notice how sharp they are and also how fat they are relative to the size of the dial and the bezel. Very unique, and I think it is a good look. Variants of this piece come on vintage rivet-style bracelets, and the pairing really suits the style of watch. A milled hollow centerlink is also greatly appreciated, aiding in the watch's slim profile and conformity while on the wrist. Moving to the dial, this model adopts a retro approach, mirroring the kind of indices used in the 50s and early 60s. This dial design is not to everyone's tastes, which is why there are other variants available. But as a dial that is unique to the watch, I don't think it gets any better than this. Immediately you can notice distortion on the dial. This is in part due to the text used with the numerals, but also the effect of the boxed sapphire crystal. The first element that catches my attention is the inset minute track. It is a strange nuance, one that I don't believe makes reading the exact time very easy. The next element that I really like is the black date wheel at the 6 o'clock position. Too often is a watch's symmetry broken up by a date wheel, but this one is subtle and out of the way unless it is required. Notice how the bezel barely takes up any space, and appears to be almost an afterthought, with coin edging around the surface. This was correct to the time when bezels were completely new introductions, and were seen more as accessories than primary components. Again, the language of this watch is correct to designs of that time period, and more often than not, the watch has a good blend of vintage-inspired elements that keep it grounded to that time period. Of course, being a diver, it has lume, and the way this watch glows in the dark is special. It's seldom that a watch uses negative space, and I think it is one of the model's best features. On to criticisms. I know that this watch is faithful to its original counterpart, but some things do stand out to me, and really the whole exercise could be simpler. I think the minute track could be removed completely, just to free up space. This makes the dial look easier on the eyes and also clearer to read. Next, the bezel. I don't believe it is necessary to have markers at every minute point. Dive watches of the time period were very sparse with detailing, and so to clean it up more, I'd have the 5-minute indices present on the bezel only. In the end, the package looks a lot less jarring, and even more old school. Otherwise, this watch is a fantastic value proposition, and a piece of design that is really good to look at. It's the kind of watch that many opponents wouldn't take seriously, being the scrawny and lesser known model, until it knocks them out with a left hook.